Siren Head. Siren Head is a towering, skeletal creature often described as appearing in remote forests, abandoned industrial zones, or empty rural areas where human presence is limited. Its most striking feature is the pair of sirens attached to where a head should be, capable of producing a wide range of sounds. These sounds include emergency alerts, distorted broadcasts, and even human voices calling for help. What makes this especially disturbing is that the creature does not rely on speed or direct confrontation. Instead, it uses sound as a lure, drawing people closer by exploiting their instincts to respond to distress signals. The concept of Siren Head was created by Trevor Henderson, and it quickly spread across the internet through images, short videos, and fan-made stories. Unlike traditional folklore that builds slowly over time, Siren Head became popular almost instantly, showing how quickly modern horror ideas can spread. Its design combines something mechanical with something organic, creating a sense that it does not belong in the natural world, yet it blends into its surroundings just enough to remain unnoticed until it is too late. Another reason Siren Head stands out is the way it changes how people think about fear. Most creatures are associated with what can be seen, but Siren Head focuses on what can be heard. Sound becomes a tool of manipulation, making even familiar noises feel unsafe. Over time, the creature has expanded beyond its original concept, with variations and interpretations appearing in different stories. This flexibility has helped it remain relevant, turning it into a symbol of how modern fears often involve technology. Momo. Momo is a figure that became widely known through viral internet rumors, often depicted as a distorted humanoid with bulging eyes, a stretched smile, and unnatural facial proportions. The image itself was taken from a sculpture created by a Japanese artist, but it was removed from its original context and given a completely different meaning online. This transformation from artwork to internet legend is a key part of what makes Momo so unique. The stories surrounding Momo suggested that it would contact individuals, especially children, through messaging platforms and encourage them to perform dangerous tasks. While many of these claims were exaggerated or false, the fear they created spread rapidly. Social media played a major role in amplifying these stories, often repeating them without verification. This created a cycle where fear grew simply because more people were talking about it. What makes Momo different from other internet creatures is that it does not have a single, clearly defined story. Instead, it exists as a collection of rumors, warnings, and interpretations. This lack of structure allows people to project their own fears onto it, making it more adaptable and widespread. Momo represents a modern kind of horror that is less about physical presence and more about communication. The idea that something could reach you through a device you use every day makes it feel closer and more personal. It shows how digital spaces can become sources of fear, especially when combined with uncertainty and rapid information sharing. The Goatman. The Goatman is a creature often associated with isolated rural areas, described as a hybrid between a human and a goat. It is usually encountered near dark roads, forests, or abandoned locations where visibility is limited. The creature is often said to mimic human voices, using them to lure people closer. This ability to imitate voices is what makes the Goatman particularly unsettling. It removes the ability to trust what you hear. Hearing a familiar voice in an unfamiliar place creates confusion, and that moment of hesitation can lead to fear. The Goatman has roots in older folklore, but its modern version has been shaped by internet storytelling. Stories about it vary, with some describing it as aggressive and others portraying it as more elusive. This flexibility allows it to adapt to different narratives, making it a lasting figure in online horror. Many encounters with the Goatman involve groups of people, which adds to the sense of realism. Shared experiences make the story feel more credible, as it suggests that multiple individuals have witnessed the same thing. This collective fear is what helps the legend continue to spread. The Rake. The Rake is a pale, humanoid creature with long limbs and a thin body, often described as moving on all fours in an unnatural way. Its appearance is minimal, but this lack of detail makes it more unsettling, as it allows the imagination to fill in the gaps. The creature is usually associated with nighttime encounters, often appearing inside homes or near sleeping individuals. Unlike many other internet creatures, the Rake does not have a clearly defined origin. Its story was presented as a collection of witness accounts, giving it the appearance of something real rather than fictional. This approach makes it feel more believable, as if multiple people have experienced the same phenomenon. The Rake's behavior is what makes it particularly disturbing. It is often described as watching silently, sometimes sitting at the foot of a bed or standing in a corner. This stillness creates tension, as it suggests awareness without immediate action. When it does move, it does so suddenly, creating a sharp contrast that increases fear. What makes the Rake unique is its ambiguity. There is no clear explanation for what it is or where it comes from, which allows it to remain open to interpretation. This uncertainty is what keeps it effective, as it feels like something that could exist just beyond what we can fully understand. Jeff the Killer. Jeff the Killer is one of the most recognizable figures from early internet horror communities, often described as a young man with pale skin, dark, hollow eyes, and a carved smile that stretches unnaturally across his face. His appearance is simple but deeply unsettling, relying on contrast and distortion rather than detailed design. The lack of normal human expression is what makes his face so memorable. The story usually follows a teenager who experiences a series of violent events that lead to a psychological breakdown. After a traumatic incident, he loses his sense of identity and becomes something entirely different. The phrase "go to sleep" is closely associated with him, adding a chilling layer to his character because it is delivered in a calm and almost gentle way. What sets Jeff apart is that he represents transformation rather than being a separate entity. He begins as a human, which makes his descent into violence feel more personal and believable. This idea that someone ordinary can become something dangerous is what gives his story its impact. It reflects fears about losing control and the fragility of identity. The image associated with Jeff the Killer has played a major role in spreading his story. It has been edited and shared across different platforms, becoming one of the most recognizable visuals in internet horror. Over time, Jeff has influenced many other stories, especially those that focus on psychological change and human vulnerability. Ben Drowned. Ben Drowned is a story centered around a haunted video game cartridge, specifically a modified version of The Legend of Zelda: Majora's Mask. The narrative follows a player who begins to experience strange and unsettling events while playing. Characters behave differently, music becomes distorted, and the game itself seems to react in unexpected ways. The entity known as Ben is believed to be connected to the game, influencing its behavior and interacting with the player. The story was told through blog posts, videos, and images, creating an immersive experience that felt almost real. This method of storytelling made it stand out from more traditional horror narratives. What makes Ben Drowned unique is how it combines technology with the supernatural. The idea that a digital object can be haunted challenges the way people think about where horror can exist. It suggests that even controlled environments like video games can become unpredictable. The story also explores the idea of control. The player believes they are in charge, but over time it becomes clear that something else may be influencing the experience. This shift creates a sense of helplessness as familiar systems begin to behave in unfamiliar ways. Ben Drowned has influenced many other stories that involve technology and interactive media. It represents a modern form of horror that reflects how deeply digital experiences are connected to everyday life.